Travis Kalanick was interviewing a new hire for his Uber cab company when his team brought up an idea: a safe ride fee. The plan was to charge riders extra money for a safer trip, give drivers basic training, and keep the rest as profit. Travis liked the idea and praised his team, and standing in his office, he told them that once riders used their service, they would be hooked and the company would charge whatever it wanted.
Once we get them in our car, we can charge whatever we want to the next time.
In 2011, Travis prepared to meet Bill Gurley, a possible investor. Angie, his girlfriend, helped him get ready. He was worried that his clothes were not good enough, but she told him that Bill only cared about ideas. She reminded him to stay open and to make Bill feel needed. During dinner, Bill asked how he planned to become a CEO. Travis talked about LeBron James and how he knew his worth, refusing to settle for less.
First day out of high school, LeBron James had a meeting at Reebok. He drops a check in front of him for $10 million.
Bill asked where the company idea came from, and Travis told him that he and his friend Garrett thought of it in Paris, looking down from the Eiffel Tower, imagining private taxis that worked better for passengers and drivers. The truth was that Garrett had come up with the idea, and Travis had taken it. Bill wanted to know if Travis could take outside advice as well as money. Travis agreed to take good advice but not orders. When Bill asked how sticky the service was, Travis said that if someone used Uber Cab twice, they would never stop, calling it a profitable business.
Oh, if I were selling you, you'd already have your wallet out.
When they left, Bill tried to hail a taxi. Travis opened his Uber Cab app and got them a car within minutes, showing how simple it was. During the ride, Travis talked about his old startup and how an investor turned on him while he searched for more funding. By the end of the night, Bill decided to invest in Uber Cab.
I think you're my new VC.
Travis met his parents and his brother for breakfast. He shared the big news about Bill Gurley and they congratulated him, and his mother felt proud of both of her sons, of Travis for his success, and for his brother for rescuing a stray animal.
Oh, the poor little thing looks dead.
Travis hosted the Uber Cab Riders Appreciation Party. His mother spoke to Angie, reminding her to take care of herself while supporting Travis's goals. His father joked about people in Silicon Valley being too busy to enjoy life. The event went well, and after his speech, a new threat appeared in the form of Randall Pearson, the city's transportation head and an ally of the taxi industry. Pearson saw Uber Cab as a threat to the system and warned Travis that he would face fines and legal action if he didn't stop. Pearson claimed to be protecting the public, but his motives served the taxi companies. He suggested selling Uber's technology to the taxi businesses. Travis refused, accusing him of corruption, and insisted that Uber was the future while taxis were a relic of the past.
I think this must have been what it was like when Homo sapiens were running around together with Neanderthals.
Back at the office, Travis received a penalty notice from the city. He refused to back down and told his team this challenge would make their company stronger.
This is our goddamn birth certificate. Okay? This means we are alive in this world.
When the city increased penalties, Travis and his team searched for a solution. Instead of using lawyers, they decided to turn public opinion into their defense. The team persuaded drivers to join Uber Cab by promising more freedom and better pay. Pearson countered by pulling those drivers back to the taxi side. The team began losing hope and believed the company would not survive. They explained the financial strain to Travis and urged him to ask Bill for more funding. Travis refused and stormed out, accusing them of not working hard enough.
Bleed for it! You're not super pumped!
Frustrated, he called his mother and told her about the situation. She advised him to seek help from Bill. He worried this would make him look weak and unstable. His mother told him to show Bill that they were on the same side and that trust would bring support.
Why should Bill Gurley trust you if you don't trust him?
Travis met Bill to discuss the company's burn rate. He hesitated to reveal the numbers, but when Bill mentioned that most startups face similar struggles, he finally showed the numbers, and Bill appreciated the trust and agreed to provide more funding, warning that this would be the last time and that the money had to be used wisely. Travis thanked him and handed him an all-access Uber Cab card, welcoming him as part of the team.
Full access card. You come and go at UberCab as you please.
Travis created a new strategy to use the riders' voices to change the mayor's stance on UberCab. The team encouraged users to speak out against the city's actions and framed the company as a victim of outdated laws. Petitions soon filled the office and crowds gathered outside City Hall demanding reform. Under pressure, the mayor finally stepped back, and in the UberCab office, Travis shouted in triumph as employees clapped and cheered, calling the victory proof of their strength.
Oh, no, we're not settling with the city. We are taking this city!
Later, while discussing the remaining fines with his team, Bill arrived at the office and introduced a new figure, Emil Michael. Emil was calm and analytical, quickly identifying the company's issues. While reviewing the fines, he noticed that the penalties were based on taxi regulations, but UberCab might not qualify as a taxi service. By redefining the company, they could avoid these rules entirely. This insight changed everything. By rebranding as a ride-sharing platform and shortening the name to Uber, the company could operate freely. Energized by the shift and supported by his new partner, Travis set his sight on expanding to new cities and eventually across the world.
Because next we're taking New York, and then Paris, and Berlin, and the rest of the fucking world.
In 2014, in Portland, Oregon, a city code enforcement officer named Erich England began targeting Uber's operations. He issued citations to drivers and ordered cars impounded to slow the company's growth. The crackdown started to affect many drivers. Travis sent Austin to handle the situation, instructing her to persuade drivers to stay united and rally together.
Make them listen. Without drivers, we don't have a company.
They don't give a shit about the company. They're losing their cars. It's their whole world.
At the office, Bill visited Travis to offer help. Travis declined, thanking him for everything he had done and saying the team could manage. He mentioned plans to host the X to the X event. Bill warned that spending millions on an employee gathering in Las Vegas would be wasteful, and Travis ignored the advice and moved forward. Emil reassured Bill that they had it under control and told him it was better not to get involved. After Bill left, Emil warned Travis that Bill's concerns were valid and that they needed to act carefully.
He's right about the level of risk here. Yeah.
Travis and his engineers came up with a plan to block Erich England from using Uber, and they built a digital tool called Greyball that could identify government officials on the app and hide available rides from them. When Erich or anyone similar tried to request a car, the system showed a fake information to prevent them from catching Uber drivers. Erich eventually noticed he was being singled out when others could still access the service, but he could not.
I'm going home.
Travis congratulated his team for their work and pushed them to focus on New York next. On an airport runway lined with private jets, Bill spoke with Travis about the need for transparency. He offered to take a more active role, saying he wanted to guide the company, not just fund it. Travis refused, saying he owed Bill only money and would pay him back.
Well, no, Bill, you're not owed anything except a return, which I will give you.
Later that evening, during dinner with Angie and Emil, Travis mentioned his meeting with Bill. Emil advised him to keep Bill close for now, and Travis became distracted by a violinist performing nearby. Emil went to speak with her and brought her over, introducing her to Travis as the next great entrepreneur. And Travis couldn't stop thinking about her afterwards. Travis invited his friends to his house to play games and discuss company issues. He told them Austin would handle the situation in Portland and said he believed in her. They agreed that taxi services in New York were failing both drivers and passengers. Drivers earned little, and passengers complained about bad smells and poor behavior, and the system just felt broken.
Ask any hardcore New Yorker about it, they'll tell you taxis suck.
The group decided to turn the public against the traditional taxi industry. Their plan introduced surge pricing, a system that raised fares during high-demand hours. It aimed to earn more when riders needed the service most. Traditional taxis could not adjust prices this way, and Travis saw this as an advantage, and he wanted to prove his company could move faster, break limits, and leave competitors behind.
You know, it's a valid point.
People are going to be with us.
In New York, Austin expanded Uber by signing up more drivers and growing the network. One night, a taxi driver threatened her on the street, but she kept going. Travis later called to thank her for her efforts and dedication.
Austin.
Hi.
Hey, you did it.
The team later gathered in Las Vegas to celebrate reaching $10 billion in revenue, and the event, called X to the X, was promoted as a private tech conference, but was actually a massive party paid by and for the company. Reporters attended, but Travis had hired a communications team to manage them.
Rachel, Jill, why do you have such a hard-on for my client? This is an internal company event.
On stage, Travis delivered a presentation about the company's core values, and his speech felt more like a rally than a business talk. He shouted about growth, ambition, and victory, turning the moment into a show of power. The employees cheered, and Travis smiled, convinced that his control and confidence would carry the company forward.
Jay-Z and Beyonce!
The party spiraled out of control, and employees flooded the city for a day of drinking, loud music, and lavish displays of wealth. Marching bands filled the street, dancers performed, and chaos spread through the hotels. The celebration mirrored Travis's idea of leadership, where limits did not exist, and success meant living without restraint. The damage repair cost $25 million, but Travis paid it without concern.
Gotta let him off the leash sometimes. You'll be amazed at the productivity we see when they get back to work.
After returning home, Travis ended his relationship with Angie, and when his mother asked about it, he claimed that he'd met someone new and that the breakup was mutual. In truth, he ended it coldly, saying he wanted something different and just told her to move out.
It really means that much to you?
Yes, it's where I do all my best thinking.
That night, after visiting his mother, Travis noticed someone using Lyft, a rival company. Curious, he asks the passenger why she preferred Lyft, and she mentions that it was cheaper. He then spoke to the driver, pretending to be a driver looking for work, and the driver explained that Lyft offered better bonuses and treated its drivers well. Travis left furious, ready to strike back.
Parties, I mean, these motherfuckers, they're stealing all my shit!
The company's next major conflict began its war against Lyft. In Uber's head office, Travis stood before his team, pacing as he spoke with intensity. He mentioned Bobby Knight, the basketball coach known for his temper, and compared himself to Al Capone during the infamous scene where Capone strikes one of his own men with a bat. Travis explained that breaking someone publicly kept everyone in line. Fear, he said, was the best form of control. He proposed strict measures against drivers who worked for Lyft, making it harder for them to switch sides.
We are in the war room right now, and it seems like none of you guys want to go to war.
Later, Travis took Gabby, a violinist he met earlier, to dinner. They spoke about the company's growing conflict and her life as a violinist. She shared how it once felt like a burden but had become a part of her, and after dinner, they went back to his place and grew much more closer.
Sorry, I've sort of been in work mode.
I've seen worse.
Travis saw no room for coexistence with Lyft. He warned Uber to dominate ride-sharing and viewed Lyft as a personal insult. Drivers who worked for both platforms disrupted his control over pricing, and he demanded loyalty. Uber offered cash bonuses to drivers who left Lyft and promised them better earnings. Travis envisioned a future where Uber absorbed Lyft completely. His team secured deals through incentives and worked to weaken the rival brand.
We are thrilled to have you exclusive to Uber.
$20 a month?
Yeah.
They also began spying on Lyft actively by tracking drivers who used both apps and accessing their phone cameras. Meanwhile, Austin pushed the transportation office to apply tougher regulations on Lyft.
Wondering when you're going to start enforcing the law.
The incentive program drained Uber's funds. Bill urged Travis to seek stable venture capital support from firms that already believed in Uber, and he advised patience and warned against chasing Google too soon. Travis dismissed the caution, focused on making an impression in Silicon Valley's top circles, and a meal sided with Bill, and together they convinced Travis to start a funding roadshow instead.
They're gonna insist on being your lead investor on the first round.
Gabby gave Travis a shoe as a gift for his upcoming roadshow. Later, while packing, he found a Polaroid of himself and Angie from an old trip. The memory led him to call her, and they talked briefly about his travels. Even after their breakup, Angie supported him and encouraged him, telling him that she believed he could handle anything.
You're gonna be great at this. I promise.
Travis and Emil began meeting with potential investors. While waiting in the lobby of one firm, another company founder joked about how unlucky they had been in finding funding. Travis acted confident, pretending it had always been easy, though the early days of Uber had been difficult. Moments later, he ran into John Zimmer, the founder of Lyft. Inside the meeting, Travis told the investor that they had to choose a side and that they could not fund both Uber and Lyft. He canceled the rest of the roadshow, and Bill called him impulsive, but Travis decided to bring the investors to Uber's office instead. He and Emil turned the roadshow into a home show, housing meetings in-house and securing new funding. Later, Travis met with his team to discuss competing with Lyft's lower prices. His colleague reminded him that Uber had built its image on luxury. To study the competition, they booked a Lyft ride and saw how affordable it was. Travis proposed a new service called UberX. It would charge 35% less and use standard cars instead of luxury vehicles, removing Lyft's main advantage.
You want luxury, you want cool, you can pay for cool. Charge 35% less, you can call it UberX, so it still feels cool.
Soon after, Google Ventures lawyer David Drummond visited Uber and invited Travis to a meeting at Google. Travis agreed to go only if Larry Page would attend. Excited, he went home and shared the news with Gabby. The next week, Travis and Emil met Larry and David, and Travis outlined Uber's vision and proposed a partnership to share data and maps. When Larry asked about Uber's technical systems, Travis could not answer. Realizing Travis was not a developer, Larry left the discussion to David. David offered a deal on one condition: a seat on Uber's board. Travis hesitated, then agreed, in exchange for a $250 million investment.
Talk about $250 million. That's the ask.
The team disagreed with his decision, but Travis focused only on defeating Lyft. Bill discovered that Travis had gone ahead without approval, yet the risk succeeded. Google Ventures invested more than $250 million in Uber and gained a seat on the board. For Travis, it was another triumph.
Feeling it? Holy shit! Yes, holy shit.
I know how to win now.
Travis met with John Zimmer to discuss a possible deal. The rivalry between Uber and Lyft had reached its peak. Zimmer proposed a merger, offering to combine the two companies under a single name. He asked for a 17% stake in the new entity, which would have created a monopoly and secured long-term control of the market. Travis refused, and he saw partnership as weakness and wanted full authority. His counteroffer of 8% was not a negotiation, but an insult. Zimmer left the meeting furious, realizing Travis would rather destroy both companies than share the spotlight.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm not ever leaving the rideshare space. Not now.
Outside the building, Zimmer ran into Bill Gurley, and he questioned why Bill continued to support someone so ruthless. Bill admitted that Travis could be harsh, but believed his ideas were right. Zimmer warned that if Bill kept allowing this behavior, Travis would eventually turn against him. Bill offered to help Zimmer find new investors if he was willing to collaborate, but Zimmer declined, saying Bill had lost his sense of integrity.
I used to consider you one of the good ones. Now I see you've turned into a jackal like all the rest.
Inside Uber, Travis celebrated every victory as if failure no longer existed. His speeches grew louder, his presence more dominating. Each success convinced him that his instincts were flawless. Bill watched from a distance, uneasy as the company he helped shape became unrecognizable. Emil Michael, once part of Bill's inner circle, had begun to pull away, aligning himself fully with Travis.
Did you lose my phone number for a while, or you forget how to dial?
Bill shared his frustration with his wife. He told her it felt like Travis claimed all the victories while leaving him to handle the losses. He reminded her that he'd believed in Travis when no one else did, yet now Travis acted like he built everything alone. She told him the money didn't matter, only that he made the right choice for himself and the team.
Because you play D1, which he has to ignore, or it'll be too hard to keep going.
Bill's doubts soon surfaced in public. At a conference in Austin, he joined a panel and spoke about the dangers of reckless startups. Without naming Uber, he warned about dead unicorns, failed giants that once looked unstoppable. His comments spread quickly, and when they reached Uber, Travis reacted with anger. He locked Bill out of the office, cutting off the one person who had once been his strongest ally.
I need to sit down with Bill Gurley as soon as he is back and get me building security.
A man driving for Uber in Rio de Janeiro was stabbed to death, and soon more killings followed. During a company meeting, Travis compared himself to General George Patton, calling Uber his army and employees his soldiers in a war for dominance. He said Uber would soon be global, with a stronger vision and better performance than copycat companies like Lyft.
You won't hear me say that name, but yeah, Lyft. Those guys.
The company was now struggling on several fronts. News of the killings in Brazil spread quickly, raising safety concerns, and inside Uber, tension grew between Travis and almost everyone around him. Travis said the murders reflected Brazil's general crime problem, noting that taxi drivers were also being killed. Bill disagreed, saying Uber should address the issue directly and show cares for its drivers. He warned that ignoring it could harm Uber's image during its global launch if the press covered it.
And let the drivers know that we give a shit about them.
Bill reminded Travis of a board meeting at their friend Jill's house when he had told him to enjoy the early days because success would make meetings more serious. Bill said the drivers' problems went beyond safety. Many were now working longer hours for less pay as incentives were cut. He warned that unhappy drivers could damage Uber's reputation and slow its expansion, but Travis ignored him. Bill suggested raising driver pay, but Travis refused, and they agreed to vote on it at the next meeting and ended the session.
I move we put the question to a formal vote at the next meeting.
Seconded.
David advised Travis to skip vacations for a while, saying it would look bad, but Travis didn't listen. Emil told him the App Store had rejected Uber's new update, which enraged Travis. He decided to contact Eddie Q, who oversaw the App Store. Around that time, a new female engineer joined one of Uber's top teams, and her supervisor was attracted to her, and when she mentioned ideas to improve Uber, he told her to settle in first. Meanwhile, a driver worked extra night shifts to support his family. Soon after, the supervisor began sending the engineer inappropriate messages, mentioning his open relationship and implying that she could be a part of it. That night, Travis and his team attended an event called Code. Travis approached Eddie Q and reminded him about the app issue, and Eddie reacted sharply, saying he didn't take orders from Travis. Travis clarified that he only wanted help, and Eddie agreed. Later, Travis met Sergey, who ignored him and instead spoke with Gabby. This angered Travis, and he then connected with a powerful woman named Ariana, who admired his vision. He gave her his contact and encouraged her to try Uber and tweet about her experience. Later that evening, Travis argued with Gabby about her behavior with Sergey, accusing her of embarrassing him and distracting Sergey from his work.
I was just being polite. You told me to impress him.
The next morning, Austin told Travis that Jill had touched her inappropriately the night before, and furious, Travis said he would handle it himself. Later, Travis attended Google's self-driving car showcase. He grew angry when Sergey was asked if Google might launch a self-driving ride service, and Sergey said it was possible. Afterward, Travis argued with David, accusing Google of plotting against him. David reminded him that Google had invested $250 million in Uber and wouldn't have done that if they wanted it to fail. When Travis mentioned Sergey's interest in Gabby, David told him not to take it personally, saying neither Sergey nor Larry cared about him or Uber.
Larry and Sergey don't really know who you are, TK.
Ariana advised Travis to find new investors to reduce Google's influence and to build Uber's own self-driving technology. Taking her advice, Travis met Google's engineer, Anthony Lewandowski, telling him Google profited from his work while giving him little credit. He offered him a role at Uber where he'd be treated as a partner and recognized for his ideas.
You're ready, come by my office. Tap on the glass.
Meanwhile, the new engineer reported her supervisor's harassment to HR. The representative dismissed her complaint, saying it was too small to ruin someone's career and that nothing would happen since he was too valuable and she was just told to drop it.
But this is the star team.
Because Craig is a star.
Travis and Emil discussed the delayed app update and possible new investors. Travis suggested approaching David Bonderman, but Emil warned that his firm rivaled Google Ventures. Travis still wanted to pursue him to challenge Google. He added that he'd already spoken with Google's self-driving engineer. Emil said he'd support whatever Travis decided.
Fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Bill Gurley and David Drummond planned to pressure Travis into better decisions. David agreed, saying he disliked Travis's arrogance, and later, Bonderman met with Travis and agreed to invest $90 million for a board seat. Travis accepted, but insisted the seat would belong to him and not Bonderman's representatives. David agreed to this, and they finalized the deal. Soon after, a journalist named Olivia exposed Uber's data access permissions. Travis got a call from Eddie Q, warning him to fix it or risk losing the app from the App Store. Travis agreed to make changes, and Emil quietly told an employee to deal with Olivia and resolve the issue. Jill later approached Austin, blaming her and saying he thought she wanted it. Upset, she asked Travis what he had done. Travis said he only wanted Jill, adding that people like him were needed at the company.
Look, if I fired every asshole in here, there'd be no one left.
Bill and David tried to convince Bonderman to join their side, and he hesitated but eventually agreed. They told him to ask for another board seat and appointed someone to gain more control over Travis. When Travis learned Bill had met Bonderman, he stormed into his office saying he'd buy back his shares and wanted him out. Bill refused, saying he was the kind of person who stayed to make companies great.
That's not what I do. I build great companies. Companies that change the world.
Travis went to Ariana for advice, saying he planned to cancel the deal with Bonderman, and she told him to keep it and use it for a bigger plan. At the office, the same employee invited the new engineer to join coworkers for drinks, but she declined and told Austin about this behavior. Austin said, tiredly, that working at Uber felt like being stuck in a never-ending party no one could stop.
Switch teams. I feel for you. I do, and I can relate.
Travis hid the App Store violations and sent a new build, which got approved. In a board meeting, he shared updates, including that he had recruited Lewandowski. When the board voted on a new seat for Bonderman, Bill and David Drummond were shocked to see Ariana walk in as the new member of the board. They realized Travis had convinced Bonderman to side with him, and they canceled the vote.
Withdraw.
That night, Travis and his team celebrated and went out for drinks. But the celebration didn't last long, and the App Store had already discovered the hidden code in the new build.
Eddie? This is a screenshot of their actual build.
Travis found Gabby happily playing the violin, but the mood changed when he received a call from Eddie Q. Eddie said Uber was in serious trouble and that Travis had a meeting with Tim Cook. Travis prepared to meet Apple's executives after learning that Uber's privacy violations could get them removed from the App Store. And before the meeting, Travis gathered his team to plan a response, but he didn't take the issue seriously. His team warned that this could destroy the company, and Emil advised him to apologize, reminding him that saying sorry costs nothing. Travis found the idea distasteful. They told him to tell the truth, but in a way Apple would accept.
Go to Cupertino, confirm only what they know, nothing more, nothing less, and then say you're sorry.
At the meeting, Eddie told Travis that Uber had violated a major rule and tried to hide it, which Apple took as an insult to its engineers. Apple had decided Uber must be removed, and realizing how close his company was to collapse, Travis admitted to part of the truth. He said the violation happened because Uber was fighting fraud in China. Competing companies there were faking Uber's rides, making Uber lose more money, and when Apple blocked Uber's access to user data, it became impossible to track them. As CEO, he said he had used the data only to stop fraud.
Uber lost the ability to
to identify the fraudulent accounts.
Travis explained that his board, especially Bill, had opposed expanding to China, fearing the government would take over once Uber grew. Travis warned them to believe in the company as much as he did, so he insisted Uber would stay in China. Later, Travis learned that an Uber driver had killed a child. He focused more on protecting Uber's image than on the tragedy itself. His team told him to never show that side of himself in public. They suggested hosting an event in New York where he could make a statement to calm the press.
300 times a turn.
When and if we go public?
During his talk with Tim Cook, Tim asked why Uber had so few women employees and why the turnover rate among women was so high. The story of Suzanne Fowler became central to the question. She had joined Uber excited to work on something revolutionary, but was soon harassed by her manager. HR dismissed her complaints, saying he was too valuable. She and other women stayed silent, believing speaking up would harm their careers. Fowler later wrote a detailed blog post exposing the harassment and neglect as a company-wide problem. It went viral, and she eventually published a book that became a bestseller on Amazon. After clashing with her new boss, Kevin, who gave her a poor review, she quit, like many other women at Uber.
She thinks I'm sabotaging her, but obviously I'm not.
Travis told Tim about his board members going behind his back. Bill met with Ariana to discuss Travis's behavior, saying he needed guidance. He asked her for help, but Ariana said Travis had to handle it himself. Later, Travis and Gabby gave his mother a necklace as a gift. She thanked them and asked if what the media said about Uber being unsafe for women and children was true. When Travis brushed her off, she told him to stay true to himself and let the world see who he really was.
You're a grown man and you need to take responsibility and face your problems head on.
Emil warned Travis about a potential collapse in Uber's China operations. He said the rival companies were too strong and that the driver incentives were causing heavy losses. While they spoke, Travis received confirmation from a new investor and told Emil to keep going. He also decided to talk to the press to repair Uber's image. Travis and Emil attended a dinner with journalists. Their communications team had prepared everything, what to say, what not to say, and how to handle tough questions. When Travis learned that Olivia would be there, he angrily demanded she be removed from the guest list.
The point of tonight is to get her colleagues on our side. They write nice things about us. She's the asshole.
Okay.
When Tim later asked about the driver's experience, Travis claimed that they were happy, earned more, and worked fewer hours by choice. But in reality, many were struggling. Among them was Fawzi Kamal, once a loyal driver who had taken out a loan for a luxury car to join Uber Black, trusting the company's promises of higher income. Repeated price cuts and no tipping options left him in debt. In a dashboard video, he confronted Travis, explaining how Uber's policies were destroying drivers' lives. Travis responded defensively, blaming Kamal for his own problems. The video showed the growing gap between Uber's leadership and its drivers. And Travis and Lewandowski continued their work on self-driving cars. Meanwhile, at the press diner, Travis tried to charm the journalists into writing favorably about Uber. Surrounded by his communications team, he promised to stay calm and avoid controversy. But once the dinner started, he ignored the plan, and he boasted about his achievements and brushed off accusations of greed, calling himself a visionary misunderstood by critics.
That I'm not a rapacious industrialist. I'm just a man stewarding a world-altering vision.
At the same table, Emil treated the off-the-record dinner as a free pass to attack reporters. He targeted one journalist the company had secretly investigated, calling her unfaithful and sharing personal details meant to embarrass her. When BuzzFeed's Ben Smith reported what was said, it caused another scandal. Travis kept on blaming everyone but himself. Tim told him to take responsibility and admit his mistakes, and the meeting ended with a warning instead of punishment. Tim reminded him that Uber had crossed serious lines, but allowed the app to remain. Travis left feeling victorious, believing power and profit still protected him.
Steve would have understood you, Travis.
While he acted untouchable, Uber's reputation kept sinking. Susan continued publishing about the company's treatment of women, and Fawzi released his video of Travis. Bill informed Travis that he was now being sued by Google for poaching one of their top engineers.
They're suing over Lewandowski. And not just Uber, they're suing you, personally.
In Chicago, a journalist named Dan O'Sullivan grew furious while listening to one of Trump's rallies. He created a Twitter account to speak out against what he heard. At Uber, rumors spread that the company might join Trump's Economic Council, and public backlash quickly followed. The communications team showed Travis the video of Fahim confronting him, and watching it, Travis broke down. He called Ariana and his mother for advice. Bill also saw the video and called Ariana, who said Travis was struggling because of the bad influence of people like Emil, and they decided to help repair his image.
We have a problem.
Yes, we do.
Emil, however, supported Travis. He told him everything in the video was true and boosted his ego by saying that he was a good guy who gave drivers a better life. While they talked, Gabby came home upset and went straight to the bedroom. Ignoring the tension, Travis told Emil that Uber needed self-driving cars faster than planned. Emil promised they'd get through it, and later, Travis asked Gabby what was wrong. She said people thought he was cheating and that his behavior was hurting them both. Travis made it about himself, dismissing her feelings. She said she was moving out the next day, and he insulted her for acting childish and left.
You're gonna move out on me in the middle of the worst crisis of my career. I'm sorry, it's just sometimes it's so clear that you're 24.
Travis called Angie for help. She agreed to advise him, but said he needed to take charge seriously. Travis joked about it, saying it would be awkward since she still liked him, and Angie replied that she was focusing on her own company for now. When he asked how he could help, she said she wanted $100 million, claiming she deserved more for helping him build Uber. Travis said he'd think about it, and Angie told him to hire someone and treat the crisis seriously. Back at the office, Travis and his team decided to bring in Eric Holder to lead an internal investigation.
Eric Holder? There you go. Perfect, get him. He's a lawyer, right?
Soon after, the US government announced a travel ban on several Muslim-majority countries, sparking protests at airports. In New York, taxi drivers went on strike in support of travelers, and during the strike, Uber suspended surge pricing at JFK Airport. Online, people saw it as an attempt to break the strike and profit from the chaos. That night, Dan O'Sullivan saw Uber's post and reacted with anger. His tweet urging people to delete the app went viral. The hashtag #DeleteUber spread fast as thousands shared screenshots of uninstalling it. What began as one man's anger became a national movement that damaged Uber's reputation. At Uber's office, Austin rushed into Travis's room, demanding that he delete the post and fire whoever made it. She warned that this could have serious consequences, but Travis walked away unconcerned. Eric Holder soon arrived to begin his investigation, and Travis greeted him warmly, but Eric made it clear that he worked for the company and not for Travis.
I don't work for you. You are not my client. Uber is my client.
Later, Bill told Travis that Google was taking them to court and advised him to fire Lewandowski, and Travis refused, saying Lewandowski's technology was too important. Bill urged him to focus on clearing his name before things get worse, and Emil agreed that firing Lewandowski was necessary, but Travis just couldn't do it, so he asked Emil to handle it. When Emil told Lewandowski that he was being let go, Lewandowski said that they were throwing away their chance at self-driving cars. Emil replied that there was no other choice and just let him walk out.
We have the ability to make the world better.
A story about Uber's trip to Korea surfaced through Bloomberg source. Emil told Travis not to worry and called Gabby, warning her not to talk to journalists about the trip. When she said she wanted nothing to do with it, Emil tried to convince her to stay quiet. Frustrated by their selfishness, Gabby hung up.
To me, come on, let's figure this out.
Please, okay,
Now, so it's clear.
I'm gonna hang up. All right, just don't.
At the office, Travis was told that they needed new engineers to handle the growing numbers of users deleting the app. He called his mother, but she refused to listen, saying she'd only speak to him when he was ready to fix things. Emil kept messaging Gabby, threatening that if she spoke out, something about her would also come out as well. Gabby then called someone from Uber's communications team and told her everything she knew about Korea. The woman informed Bill that she couldn't stop Gabby from going to the press. She also said that she was resigning, admitting that Uber's empire was falling apart and she needed to protect herself.
I'm leaving.
Bill's wife advised him to cut ties with Emil, saying he was causing too much damage. Around the same time, Travis called the president to say he was stepping down from the Economic Council, but the president just hung up. Soon after, Travis was told that Eric Holder's investigation report was complete and waiting in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the delete Uber trend kept spreading, costing the company millions. The board gathered at Holder's firm to review the report. On his way to LA, Travis received devastating news. His parents had been in a boating accident, and his father was badly injured, and his mother had died. Holder's report was long and damaging, exposing the company's toxic culture. After the meeting, Ariana visited Travis, followed by Angie. Even in the hospital, he couldn't stop talking about Uber, and he and Ariana discussed business as if nothing had happened. Watching them, Travis's brother quietly told Angie that they didn't seem human anymore.
Those aren't human beings.
Bill gave Travis Holder's main recommendation, the removal of Emil Michael. Emil had become a public liability after his comments about investigating journalists were leaked, along with his involvement in the controversial Korea trip. Travis had no choice but to follow the board's decision, and when he told Emil, the conversation was calm and sad, like the two old friends saying goodbye after years of chaos.
I want to be doing this right now to lose you. I don't, okay? But I cannot let anything take me down.
Bill advised Travis to take a break until things were back in order. Travis agreed and stepped away, and at Uber, the company held an event to introduce Uber 2.0. Ariana told employees that things would change for the better, and Travis appeared and said he would take time off to grieve his mother, support his father, and work on himself. As the company launched its new version, one employee secretly leaked information about Uber's gray ball system to Olivia, the journalist investigating them, putting the company in danger once again.
I mean, I think I'm doing the right thing. But like, how do you know?
The exposure of Greyball revealed that Uber had deliberately evaded regulators. Inside the office, the team discussed how to respond to the news. Without Travis and Emil, they were in the dark and unsure of what to do next. But after a long debate, they decided not to bring Travis back.
Winning, growth, trying not to get fired, those were the basic thought patterns following TK's orders.
Meanwhile, Travis's mother's funeral was being held. After a while, several board members met with Bill after hearing about the Greyball scandal. Some investigators threatened to pull out their firm's money from Uber, saying Travis had proven himself untrustworthy too many times. The board decided that he needed to be removed as CEO, and Bill warned them that Travis still had many loyal board members, and removing him would be difficult and messy.
He's got loyalists on the board and he's got those super voting shares, you know this.
When Travis found out that they were planning to push him out, he began losing control. At the hospital, his brother asked for financial help, and Travis grew angry, pointing out that his brother had called him a bad person before, but was now asking for some cash. The conversation turned bitter, and Travis stormed out, refusing to help. Meanwhile, the board met again and decided what to do next, and Bill told them that Travis was becoming dangerous and that they needed to act fast. He suggested that they make him resign voluntarily.
Our reputations, our livelihoods, and we will be screwed, and if we don't put him in a box and keep him there.
Bill proposed preparing 2 letters. One, outlining the board's demand for him to step down, exposing all the company's internal issues, and the second being a letter from Travis himself, announcing that he was stepping down to focus on family matters. He said Travis could choose how he wanted the public to see him, and if he refused both options, they would call for a vote amongst all investors and employees. Bill spoke privately with Ariana, asking her to do what was best for both the company and Travis, and he also approached Garrett, who owned a large number of shares, and convinced him to support the plan.
We have to have your support.
Ariana began interviewing employees to better understand the company's situation. After finishing her assessment, she called Bill and told him to deliver the letters to Travis. When Travis finally received the letters from the board, he refused to sign either one, saying they had no real leverage over him since he held the largest share of the company. The board warned him that they would be forced out either way and that refusing would only cause humiliation. They also said that if needed, they could convert shares and take him out by vote. Signing, they told him, would at least allow a smoother transition.
We're here to give you the chance to save your reputation.
Travis called Ariana, asking if she still supported him. She said she was always on his side and suggested they talk about which option would be best for everyone. Travis told her that they would discuss it after he rallied his team and fought back against the board. After the call, he went to see Angie, hoping to vent and gain her support. She told him that his impulsiveness and childish behavior were costing him everything. She said that unless he changed, he would lose more than just the company.
I always thought that the childish, destructive part of you would be pulled up by the brilliant business side.
Meanwhile, Travis tried to rally support. He reached out to people he believed owed him loyalty, but one after another they turned away from him. The board members later informed Bill that the letters had officially been delivered to Travis. Travis then met with Garrett, trying to convince him to change sides. Furious, Travis said that they were stealing his company. Garrett replied that it was never his company to begin with, reminding him that the idea had originally been his and that Travis had taken it away from him.
It was never your company. It wasn't your idea.
Not long after, Olivia approached Bill and then Ariana, telling them that she had learned about the letters. But she wanted more than just a resignation, and she said Travis needed to face real consequences for his actions so that people would understand that power without accountability always leads to downfall.
If he resigns, I see no further reason to punish him.
Meanwhile, Travis went to Austin asking for her help. She told him that she couldn't help him, and he was shocked to find that she'd also turned against him. Later, he met with Ariana again, and she told him that it was time to let go. Travis refused, saying that he would not let the board win, and Ariana calmly told him that the board had already won, but that he could still win with them. She explained that he would still own the largest share of the company and could walk away with dignity. When Travis asked her what she thought he should do, she told him to give up control and set himself free.
You are still owning a huge percentage of this company.
She said that they would tell the press that he had built Uber into something so strong that it could now thrive without him. Travis hesitated for a long time, but finally agreed to sign the papers on one single condition. Bill Gurley would also leave with him. He didn't want Bill to stay and make it seem like he had lost. Ariana told Bill about the agreement, saying it wouldn't matter since he would still make billions from his shares. Bill agreed to give up his board seat.
You stepping off the board was the final piece. But he's out.
And Travis stood alone, believing he was being punished for the same traits that had made Uber successful. He saw himself as a misunderstood founder, pushed out by people who lacked his courage and vision. Not long after, Travis changed his mind. He stormed into the office, saying he had made a mistake, and announcing plans to expand Uber into moving goods as well as people. The employees cheered for him, excited by his confidence.
Together, have already built the most important transportation company the world has ever seen!
The next morning, Travis arrived to find himself locked out of the building. The board had already gone to the press announcing his removal as CEO, and he met Bill Gurley on his way out. Bill told him that he had forced the board's hand and left them with no choice. Travis reminded Bill that he was also leaving the company, but Bill said he didn't care, his life didn't really depend on Uber. He told Travis to use his money to build something new and walked away.
You're dead too, you know. You're as gone as I am. I took your ass out with
My entire sense of self isn't wrapped up in what happens at Uber.
Ariana took over reconstructing the company, promising to rebuild it from the inside out. Travis hailed a taxi and headed to the airport, leaving the city behind as Uber moved into its next chapter without him.